coming up. A famous political commentator comes to campus. Hear from students who spoke with him. The Supreme Court is hearing arguments against Trump's tariffs. We have reporters in Washington.
Above average temperatures now, but some changes are on the way, including a cold front moving through this weekend. I'll have all the details on the big first freeze coming up. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Bryn Mead.
And I'm Clay Webster. Political commentator Steven Crowder was on campus today to debate students on issues regarding immigration. OU Nightly's Emma McAndrews is live where the event took place. Emma, what did students who spoke with him have to say?
Bryn, Clay. Now, Crowder was out here for about 4.5 hours right behind me, debating students who are willing to come forward and share their opinions. Now, according to Crowder's team, he said they left it as a one-on-one, so audience members actually couldn't hear those conversations happening between both debaters. However, this was to keep the event peaceful and safe for everyone involved. Steven Crowder's event encouraged open debate on his idea, deport all illegals, change my mind. A large security presence was felt from Crowder's own personal team to visible snipers on many buildings on the South Oval.
We feel very safe, and it really shows that the university cares about conservative voices on campus, because the amount of security and the amount of cooperation with the university shows that they're willing to host these speakers instead of just turning them away.
Many students lined up to speak to Crowder. Some minds were changed.
Yeah, me and Mr. Crowder agree with pretty much everything. We're pretty on the same plan. However, I did have a point that like child care and lawn care and certain service industry jobs, the prices of those would go up if we were to have citizen labor that has to pay taxes on their money. However, he made a really good point, and that really changed my mind. I'll be honest, he's right, 100%.
And others not as much.
I felt the conversation went really well. He was super respectful. I don't think my personal views are swayed that heavily. Most of his viewpoints were based on evidence, right? But it's my job as like a student here to fact check that evidence and to see if it's correct. So if like the facts line up, then my viewpoint could change, but as of now, not really.
Now, many students were able to debate with Crowder, although the event did wrap up about half an hour ago. It did stay peaceful and no interruptions occurred. Reporting for OU Nightly, I'm Emma McAndrews.
Thanks, Emma. Well, it doesn't really feel like November outside. Carlin, how much longer can we expect these warm temperatures to last?
Y'all, I couldn't help but agree with you. I mean, right now we are well above average across all of the state, pretty much, except for areas in the Panhandle, right around average over there near Guyman and Woodward. But take a look here in central Oklahoma. You can see 72 degrees in Oklahoma City, 74. We have our very own OU Nightly meteorologist, Willie Gillespie, out on the South Oval right now. Let's ask him. How's it feeling out there, Willie?
Hey, Carlin, I'll tell you, it is beautiful out here on the South Oval. There's a certain serenity and peacefulness. Like you said, it's a beautiful evening, a great night to get out, hit the Mont, hit the Winston, anywhere outdoors, even up in Oklahoma City. Again, beautiful weather, but like you said, that's going to start to change pretty soon here as we go into the weekend. Powerhouse cold front and some weather whiplash coming to central Oklahoma. We'll toss it back to you, but for now, beautiful stuff here on the South Oval.
Well, thank you, Willie. Definitely going to have to get out and enjoy the outdoors while we can before this cold front does move in. So in just a little bit, I'll talk about how we're going to end off this week and start this weekend in a little bit coming up. Guys.
Thanks, Carlin. As President Trump's tariffs have stirred controversy across the nation, the Supreme Court has agreed to hear the case to determine if it's constitutional. Taylor Ann Barnes with OU Nightly has the details from Washington, D.C. Taylor.
The U.S. Supreme Court is hearing arguments today in a case that could cement presidential power over trade. Justices are deciding whether President Trump's emergency tariffs were legal or overstepped congressional authority. Outside, peaceful protesters gather, calling for limits on executive power and a return of trade control to Congress.
America has 340 million people, 262 million plus are adults, and I feel that there should be, right now, especially what's going on right now, I feel that the nation's capital should be flooded at all times.
Many protesters are upset over the tariffs, primarily because of the rising grocery prices.
Well, individually, personally, I see. All you have to do is go to the grocery store. Used to be a 2-pound of hamburger would cost you, $10 or $11. I was just at the store yesterday. 2 pounds of hamburger are $18.
Although the outcome of the ruling is unknown, protesters say that one thing must remain the same: their commitment to speaking out.
People need to peaceful protest at all times. People need to be letting their government know if they're happy with something and letting their government know when they're not happy with something.
This president is acting like a dictator, and so you want more of that? You want more arrests? You want individuals who are protesting like me to be arrested? Well, do nothing.
As of today, the ruling is still undecided. We'll continue to follow the case and bring you updates on its impact. I'm Taylor Ann Barnes with OU Nightly.
Thanks for that breakdown, Taylor. To follow updates surrounding the Supreme Court's decision, follow OU Nightly on Instagram.
Rescue teams are still searching for those missing after a deadly plane crash in Kentucky. Elle Gedman has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
11 people dead so far and others still missing after a UPS plane crashed in Louisville, Kentucky last night. It started when the cargo plane's left wing caught fire, which led to the engine falling off. The crash sparking a fire that consumed the plane and spread to nearby businesses. 3 people were on the plane, which was headed for Honolulu. The investigation into what caused the crash is ongoing. We are officially in the longest government shutdown ever. This passes the previous record set in 2019, marking 35 days so far. The Senate voted and failed for the 14th time to advance a House-passed resolution to end the stalemate on Tuesday. The vote was 54-44 with no new Democrats voting to advance it. Lawmakers from both parties have hinted that they may be close to reaching a deal. ICE detained an employee of a Chicago daycare as children were being dropped off this morning. Immigration authorities stormed a Spanish immersion daycare where they aggressively detained the woman. A state lawmaker said the agents followed her into the school and arrested her without a warrant in front of her students. And no one filed to run for mayor in several open city council seats in the small town of Oxford, Iowa. This means every position could be decided entirely by write-in votes. Bryn, Clay.
Thank you, Elle. Democrats took big wins across the nation as elections took place yesterday. OU Nightly's Abby Hollinsworth has the results. Abby.
Bryn, all eyes were on the mayor's race in New York, gubernatorial races in New Jersey and Virginia, and the proposition vote in California. In New York City, the Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani beat out former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and Republican nominee Curtis Sliwa. Mamdani has run on campaign promises of affordability and standing up to President Trump.
So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
Trump responded, saying he was surprised with the outcome.
I don't think it was good for Republicans. I don't think it was good. I'm not sure it was good for anybody. But we had an interesting evening and we learned a lot.
Meanwhile, in the Virginia gubernatorial race, Democrat Abigail Spanberger won handily against Republican Winsome Earl Sears. Spanberger will be the first female governor of Virginia. And in New Jersey, Democrat Mikey Sherrill won against Republican Jack Ciattarelli. Sherrill will be the first female Democrat governor of New Jersey. And in California, voters passed Proposition 50 to approve congressional maps for the 2026 election. The new maps will make 5 House seats, more favorable to Democrats. And California Republicans have already filed a federal lawsuit saying Proposition 50 violates the 14th and 15th Amendments.
Thanks, Abby. And the U.S. cattle herd reaches a grim milestone. Find out why beef prices are so high right now and how long they could take to get back to normal.
And an earthquake devastates parts of Afghanistan. Learn what landmark was damaged and the disaster and what organizations are doing to help. Next.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
We said we'd never give in to a meltdown.
Mariella!
Never leave the house looking, well, and never let them out of our sight. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock.
Central Philippines have been rocked by another natural disaster following an earthquake 2 months ago. OU Nightly's Jack Hancock has that and more in today's Earth Report.
At least 50 people are dead after a typhoon strikes the Philippines. Typhoon Kalmegi made landfall on Tuesday, bringing flash floods and high wind speeds with it. Last month, the Central Philippines was devastated by a 6.9 magnitude earthquake, killing dozens. Forecasters estimate the typhoon could make landfall in Vietnam by Friday. More than 25 people are dead and hundreds injured after a 6.3 magnitude earthquake shook much of northern Afghanistan. One of Afghanistan's most cherished religious sites, the Mausoleum of Imam Ali, sustained damage. The United Nations in Afghanistan say they will be assessing damage and providing aid as they can. Across the United States, cow herd sizes are dwindling, falling to the lowest levels since the 1970s. Ranchers claim this is due to drought. As a result, beef prices have risen in recent years. Earlier this year, President Donald Trump urged American ranchers to lower prices, saying foreign beef will be brought in if prices can't be lowered.
Trump could come in and bring in beef from Argentina and our price will go down and we won't hardly be able to get by.
Ranchers say it could take up to 5 years to rebuild herd size. There's a new record for fastest glacial retreat in modern history. The Victoria Glacier in Antarctica was cut nearly in half in just 2 months. Clay, Bryn, back to you guys.
Thanks, Jack. Up next, learn how Oklahoma is making an impact on the national stage in agriculture leadership.
And we're a few days into November, but what we don't have is those November temperatures. I'll talk when we can see those coming up. Keep it here.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/act now.
Hey y'all, thanks for joining us today on this Wednesday. Right now, let's look at those temperatures out there. You can see we are a lot warmer across the metro. We're feeling like 72 outside in Oklahoma City, extending out into the other part of the state. You could see in the Panhandle a little bit cooler over there in the low to mid 60s. But once again, that same trend, we're in the 70s, and this is close to 10 degrees above what we usually see this time of year. And something else I want to note is we had a cold front move through earlier today. You could see it moving down into parts of Texas, Arkansas, close to Louisiana now, but it didn't really do much in our area. That's something that usually does cool us down. It really didn't. But something is going to happen as we head into the weekend. We're going to have another cold front, but it's going to be a lot bigger than what we saw today. So continuing on throughout your evening, you're going to see that we are going to have another cold front make its way through parts of the earlier part of the weekend. You can see this is Saturday. There's one cold front, and that's not the only one that's going to make its way through our area. Watch as we head into Saturday into Sunday, the earlier hours of Sunday, and even for the lows on Monday. So this is Monday by 1 a.m. This is what the lows are going to be. A lot of blue. That's where we're looking for that first freeze to be possible in parts of the Midwest. So some tips for that. Make sure to protect your plants. Dress for the cold. I know, bring out those coats, especially if you're planning on being outside anytime Sunday night in the earlier hours or in the early hours of Monday. And make sure, of course, to keep those pets warm and make sure that they are comfortable inside. Something else that this is going to change is the future wind gusts as well. So watch as we head into this weekend. This is by Saturday into the afternoon hours. This is the morning of Saturday, 9 a.m. You could see wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour in Norman. As we continue on throughout the day, that same trend continues, but then we head into the later hours of Saturday, and you could see some higher wind gust values in parts of the eastern part of the state as we continue into the weekend. Those are going to taper off a little bit more, but then as we head into Sunday again, we're just keeping the winds around, and it's ahead of these fronts and after the fronts, we just get more and more higher wind gusts. So over the next few days, let's look at the forecast highs. This is something to know. I want you to look at the change from Saturday to Sunday. We're going from 72 degrees to 48 being the high on Sunday. So that's definitely a big change as we continue over the next week or so. So for Monday, 53 degrees. It is just going to get right back down into the fall temperatures. But then the one thing I want to note is as we head into the earlier parts of next week, we're going to have temperatures in the 60s. So that's some good news. I mean, it's kind of like a roller coaster of what we're seeing these days, but I mean, I'll take the 70s for a few more days if we can get it. I don't know. November 1st, I like listening to Christmas music, and it just feels wrong when the temperatures are like the mid 70s. You know what I mean?
I get it. I am just so excited to start baking my chai cookies.
Yes. Ooh, that sounds good. You got to give me the recipe.
Definitely will.
Yeah.
Well, for the 9th time, a future Farmers of America president hails from Oklahoma. Perkins Tyrantine Trey Myers was elected the 2025 to 2026 National FFA president over the weekend at the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis. Myers' win marks Oklahoma's 24th Future Farmers of America national officer historically. And Oklahoma is also dominating in college sports as 2 OU players have been named to award watch lists.
And the Sooners continue to rise in the college football rankings as the end of the regular season nears.
Also, hear about how the OKC Thunder continue to make NBA history and the last 2 home games for an OU team. I'll have all that and more next in sports.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Oh, right. Look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs. We are proud of you for quitting smoking, but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable.
good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
I'm Dalton Davis, and it's time for sports. Over the weekend, the Oklahoma Sooners went into Neyland Stadium and showed Tennessee how dark things really get, beating them 33-27, causing a 7-spot ranking jump from 18 to 11 in the AP poll. However, the first college football playoff rankings came out, and the Sooners were the second team out, ranked 12th, right behind Texas at 11th. Oklahoma has a legit chance to make the 12-team playoff as they have 3 SEC games remaining, and 2 of those games are against ranked teams, one against 4th-ranked Alabama and the other against 22nd-ranked Missouri. One of the reasons OU is ranked 12th is none other than Isaiah Satania, and it's fitting that he has now been named to the watch list for the Biletnikoff Award, That award recognizes the most outstanding pass catcher, and he is one of them with 692 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Isaiah is such a mature young man. I mean, you look at it, his dad is a collegiate coach. He's played at this level, at a high level for a long time, so he understands the game of football, and he understands not to let one thing determine who you are as a player, as a person. He doesn't let single moments beat him twice.
Another Sooner on an award watch list is none other than Reagan Crack Opener Coldwin Beers, as she has been named to the Wade watch list, which is presented to the best player in women's college basketball. She's already starting out as such, as she dropped her first double-double of the season with 29 points and 10 rebounds on 76 shooting on Monday. Staying on the hardwood, the OKC Thunder has earned their best start in franchise history by beating the Clippers and reaching an 8-0 start. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was the leading scorer with a 30-piece chicken wing, and you know it came with the fries as he got a double-double with 12 assists. He was just out there mixing the Clippers like a protein shake. You might as well call it a combo meal. Not to mention 5 other players were in double digits. The team shot 52% from the field and 47% from 3. The Thunder beat the Clippers 126-107. I guess it is true that the sun sets in the west because Golden State and the Sooners' own Buddy Hield put down the Phoenix Suns as Golden State won 118-107. Hield dropped 12 points. He went 3 for 5 on threes with 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. This is his second highest scoring performance of the season. Now serving to volleyball, the Sooners' final home matches are tonight and Friday. Tonight at 7, Oklahoma faces the Mississippi State Bulldogs, coming off a 3-1 win against Arkansas. OU hopes to finish with a 2-match win streak and tie their conference record 6-6 on the season. Clay, Bryn.
Thank you, Dalton. But wait, don't crawl away. The most popular baby names of 2025 have been released.
Stay with us to find out which names parents are going goo-goo for.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater. Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
The Pardon and Parole Board recommended clemency for Oklahoma death row inmate Tremaine Wood in a 3-2 vote. Wood was convicted of killing 19-year-old Ronnie Whip during a robbery in 2002. Attorney General Getner Drummond said in a statement that he is disappointed in the board's decision, writing his office will continue to pursue justice for Whip. Bryn, Clay, back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that update, Megan. We'll be following that. BabyCenter.com has released their 100 most popular baby names list for 2025. Do you know Wanoa? We wouldn't be surprised because that name is once again the most popular boy's name.
And for the 6th consecutive year, Olivia is the most popular for girls, along with Amelia in second. But some names have dropped out of the top 100, including Hunter and Natalie.
You know, I'm kind of surprised at that. I feel like there's a lot of very popular names out there, and I feel like I see them every year. But anyways, weather-wise, what we're talking about is temperatures in the 70s over the next few days. This weekend, we're going to have a cold front move through, drop us quite a bit into the 40s. But other than that, we'll get right around average by next week.
Thank you so much for that. Well, thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Bryn Mead.
And I'm Clay Webster. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.